from Monterrey, Mexico, but the fans there are certainly going to be cheering for Daniel Suarez this weekend. And if you want to find him, his car looks like Tony Stewart, the boss's 2005 championship. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely is very cool. Really very fortunate to have the 2005 Penske championship Penske. So it's been very cool. You know, the whole process of getting to this point, because it's not just myself. Eric Almirola has one of the Penskes of the championship, as well as Clint Boyer. So I feel like we have a lot of history in Stewart-Haas Racing right now, and definitely having fun with that.
And I want to ask you the history question. You talk about the history of that team. You came out of Monterrey, Mexico, came to this country to drive a stock car. You're at its most historic motor speedway. Do you feel that history when you come here?
Definitely. You know, I was actually one of my cousins from Mexico. He's here. His first race ever. He walked into a racetrack. He said, "Man, it's a very cool place." I said, "Well, this place, on my opinion, is like going 30, 40 years back. Everything. The mechanics, the cars, the grandstands, the racetrack, everything." And I really like that a lot. You know, it's very old school. So I feel like it's a very unique experience. And for someone like me that obviously, you know, I've been watching the sport for a while now, but I didn't grow up watching the sport. Yeah. Because obviously in Mexico, you know, we have so many different cultures and stuff like that. But it's very special to race here. And in my opinion, one of the longest, toughest races of the year.
Yeah. How about the first time when you came here? And then, I mean, when you walk in here and we show pictures that shows asphalt everywhere, but there's only a little bit of it that you use. So how difficult was it for you to kind of get up to speed and understand what this track was about and what you could and couldn't do?
You know, I remember the first time I was watching races here, I used to don't understand why people were running always the wall. I didn't get it. You know, I didn't understand why. I mean, the racer was so wide. Why everyone was running up there, and everyone was so tight. Just like you mentioned, there is so much asphalt, but everyone is running in you know, just 2 lines or 1.5 lines. And once you hit the racetrack, you understand why, because that's the fastest way around, and you have to be in that line. I remember watching a few races back in 2013, 2014, when I was trying to make it into Xfinity Series, and I was just trying to learn how, you know, to get around all these places, and this is one of the places that it just didn't make sense to me all the way until you actually get into this place.
Yeah, and you talk about the Xfinity Series. You run here a couple of races, or for a few races here, and then you move up to the Cup level. You just said how long this race is. Try to describe the intensity of running that long, that many laps, and staying on top of the car and staying out of the wall.
So, you know, I was talking with my cousin and with my girlfriend about this, that this is a race that is 500 miles. And yes, we have Daytona 500, we have the Coca-Cola 600. Those are races that are as long or even longer. But, you know, it's not the same. You know, here, the room of mistake is so little. You know, you're running the walls for so long. The fall-off of the tires is so big. For whatever reason, this race feels longer because you're working harder. It's kind of like running in Bristol 1,000 laps. You know, you're gonna be falling off the seat by lap 600 or 700. You know, it's just difficult. I remember my first Cup race here. We're halfway, and I couldn't believe it. I thought we're getting close to be done. And yeah, it's definitely a long race, and it's very difficult mentally and physically, just for the way that you have to run the track, because as close as you get to a wall, as fast as you're gonna go. And as a race car driver, you're gonna run up there. Yeah. The thing is how long you can race up there without making the mistake.
Okay, so speaking of that, you're sitting right there inside the cut line right now for a playoff position with 2 races left, and on a difficult racetrack like this. How do you go about navigating this on Sunday night? And on top of that, you're racing a teammate for that final spot at this point in time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's kind of like a fun position to be, I will say, because everyone is asking me the same question. So I'm here, I'm prepared for all these questions already. But yeah, I mean, obviously the 41 Hazard mentioned for Mustang. It's been pretty sporty so far today, and I'm really looking forward for the race. You know, obviously It's going to be high intensity between Ryan Newman, myself, and Jimmy Johnson, and Clint Boyer, and even the guys that are around us. Because you make a little mistake here, and you're out of the race, and you never know what is going to happen. So I feel like we just have to be smart. Obviously, the priority is to finish the race in the top 10. I feel like a solid date is going to be good for us. We can't take the risk of wrecking or having a DNF, but I feel like we're in a good position to have a good solid weekend.
Yeah, everybody knows I'm a Daniel Suarez fan, so that goes without saying here. But we talked about it earlier. Out of these four, if being positive about driving, if being positive about their team, if being positive about what you can do personally moves you in, then you move all the way up to about third or fourth in the points after this race because you're so positive. Is that an important part for these next two races, to stay focused, to stay positive, and to stay on top of what your team needs and not worry about everybody else?
Totally agree, Cal. And first of all, I appreciate all your support, as you know. But I feel like if I start to stress, my whole team is going to stress. So I'm the one that I have to be the most calm on my team and trying to bring my team, relax and being calm and do our thing. If we can do this in the next couple races, we're going to be able to go to, what is the first race? Vegas, to Las Vegas, to the first race of the playoffs. That tells you actually that I'm not even thinking about the first race of the playoffs.
Right.
I'm just thinking about Darlington and Indianapolis. That's all I'm thinking about. After that, I can take care of Las Vegas. But after that, we can go all in Las Vegas and trying to do our thing and trying to fight hard with the rest of the competition. For now, we have a goal, and the goal is to try to be consistent, good, strong, but we can't afford to make big mistakes.
Daniel Suarez living most certainly in the moment. Thank you very much for coming over. Your boss is going to be confused this weekend. Those 3 Tony Stewart cars out there. It's going to be wild. And tell your cousin we hope he has a great time.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
That's awesome.
Thank you.